Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to Fort Friday. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have, of course, the Fort, Michael McHenry. What's up?
What's up? I love that intro. You do such a good job.
It does get me a little excited here.
Yeah, it's like it gets a little bit louder. Maybe that's just me playing it in my head, and I'm not real sure. But yeah. That was great. And I still want a hot dog. I don't need a hot dog. I look like a hot dog, but I don't need it. I'm trying to, do things right, but I want a hot dog still from our last show.
You can always eat a hot dog. It doesn't matter. It's just
I feel like it's
dog,
a man.
Right?
It's weirdly a manly food. It probably shouldn't be because it's awkwardly shaped, but
right.
That's a whole other story. But it is. It's like a manly food. It's like a wing and a hot dog and a beer. It's just USA manly. Yeah.
And you can always eat a wing. Even if you're trying to watch what you eat. I mean, you can eat a wing. You can eat a hot dog. It doesn't matter. It's just a hot dog, right? That's why you can eat 37 of them during a race. or whatever it was.
37. So many hot dogs. Like, seriously. Yeah, like, there's 4th of July. There's a contest. Go give your shot. Let's go.
Right.
I have a question for you. So last night, didn't eat healthy. I had a Nashville hot chicken sandwich at Coupe de Ville, downtown Pittsburgh. Very, very good. I'm pretty sure there's bits and pieces of the devil in it. It was so hot. But with that being said, I'm from Tennessee.
Yes.
Everybody's like, oh, Nashville hot, Nashville guy. Well, I'm like, it wasn't born here. They didn't create hot chicken. They stole it from Memphis. So I wanted to ask you, where'd you hear about Nashville hot chicken and where did that come from? I don't get it.
Like me personally, where I heard it?
Yeah, Nashville.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's what it's known for. Now I'll say, I've never been to Memphis. This is my first time for the winter meetings while I was in Nashville, and I had Nashville hot chicken there from Hattie B's, which, by the way, little promo here. That video will
Where'd
be
Hattie
out.
B's come from?
I don't know. But ironically, I had my first Nashville hot chicken in Jacksonville, Florida, from some restaurant that claimed to have Nashville hot chicken.
Not? Why is it not Jacksonville hot chicken? It's hot down there. You're in Jacksonville, and it's their chicken.
So let us know. Tell us. You're the Tennessee guy. So it was just hijacked from Memphis then, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think Hattie B's was, stolen and came to Nashville. It's like us saying, yeah, welcome to Tennessee In-N-Out Burger. Right? Like that's not what it is. Yeah. They were going on and on about it, and I was just like, listen, when you name something Nashville hot, when you go somewhere else and have it, it should taste the same. I had a hot chicken sandwich that had a little bit of death and barbecued devil in it. It was so hot. I was crying. I've had a lot of Nashville hot chicken. I've never had one that hot. It's not the same, right? So, usually when you go get a chicken and waffle, it may not be as good, but it's a chicken and waffle.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to figure that out. It's an argument that I often, partake in because I'm like, it's not their chicken. It's not. Nashville's got everything else. They don't need the chicken too. Yeah. And the hot chicken at that. They get the hot chicken, not the, overweight, not pretty chicken. They get the, whatever. They don't just get a giant thigh. They get the best part of the chicken too. Come on. They can't have it all.
You know what? Why not?
That's true. Why not? Take it all, Nashville. Just take it all.
Who's stopping them?
United States of Nashville. That's what we are now.
Stop them. We need to make a stand.
Yeah. I'm going to hold that piece of chicken. Nobody can have it. It's ours. And I'll be eating a hot dog.
It was some damn good chicken. So we went there again. We went to Hattie B's and I tried it and oh my God, it was good. And what we did is we had every sauce. So 6 strips, right? They had 6 sauces. We ate them each down the line. I made it to the very end. It was good. It was tasty. I'll say that. That's the one thing. Like when it comes to spice, I like spicy food. I don't mind it, but a lot of times when I go out to eat somewhere, I won't get hot because I just feel like people just make things hot for no reason. It's not tasty. It just tastes terrible and it's just hot. And I'll say I was very impressed with the chicken there because it was good.
And that is true, like Memphis, Nashville, Birmingham, whether it's barbecue or that hot chicken or whatever it is. Even when I was a kid, like that's what it was. It was the spice and the taste. It made you almost salivate. It didn't make you cry. And now
speaking of salivating, that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
I know I'm so hungry. I shouldn't be doing. That's why I'm doing this. I haven't eaten dinner. I'm trying to, eat better. It's the new year. The bike over there staring at me, and it almost killed me yesterday because I picked a program that said "Happy Trails," bro. Happy Trails, right? That seems like cool. I'm gonna go ride in the woods and be happy.
A breeze.
Well, yeah, and then once again, I don't know what happened. It got possessed, and I'm drenched. I mean, drenched 30 minutes in, and I loved a bike. It was miserable. It was happy death trails. Come to find out. Like,
but
if
see,
you want to be happy until you die because you can't take the smile off your face because you're trying not to cry, please come ride this trail.
There you go. But that's the thing. If it said happy death trails, you would never even attempt it.
I probably would have.
Well, you're a psycho.
If I'm in a good place, I usually pick the hard things. I think it's fun. I wouldn't pick 37 hot dogs though. I can't let it go. I just can't let it go.
We're just gonna be a hot dog review show from now on. That's it.
Yeah,
it's Fort Friday, it's just a hot dog review. Send in your hot dogs, we're gonna eat them. Hopefully you go with the 37 one time.
Yep. Which is gonna happen, by the way. Stay tuned. Somebody's offered us hot dogs and we are gonna taste test them and review them. They better be beef franks.
There it is. Mm-hmm. There you go.
All beef. Yep.
But let's talk a little bit of baseball here. Some baseball, some whatever. I guess we'll start with the big news. Let's talk PiratesFest because that's coming up this weekend.
It's not the signing we just had? Come on.
This.
Go ahead and announce it. You're going to talk about it later, so go ahead and announce it. Tease it out.
I don't even remember the guy's name. I'm so sorry.
It's hard to pronounce. That's what it is.
I know it was Michael Plasmeyer.
Oh, yeah. You could have played Michael Loren Plasmeyer. Oh, look, we just signed Trevor. Nobody.
You know who it's not? It's not Martin Perez. That's still not a thing yet. But yeah,
he hasn't signed his contract yet.
No, it's still not official.
PiratesFest. They're gonna fly many PiratesFest. That's my guess.
All right, I'll hold you to it. But,
don't hold me to it.
No, we're holding you to it. Or no hot dogs. To it.
Okay.
Fair enough. But PiratesFest, I mean, it's finally back. A lot of fans were excited. Seemed like a really good turnout. And I don't know if you saw what happened the other day on Twitter, but a lot of people were very upset about the autographs, the limitations on autographs. So what turned to be a very, very happy thing is now made everyone pissed off because, well, we're Pirates fans. The only way to live is be pissed off and irritated.
So I have zero clue what you're talking about. So fill me in a little bit. Pretend like I just don't know anything because I'll be in Florida at fantasy camp with a bunch of Pirates.
Oh, you mean they didn't not double book that?
Unless we have a B team. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So I'll put it this way. I didn't have any intentions. I'm not going. First off, if I wasn't seeking autographs. So I didn't really know the whole setup, but I guess to open up, right, to get like your ticket, right, to be in the autograph line, to get autographs, whatever, open up at 12 and more or less it limited to like season ticket holders. Very finite amount of them. So a lot of people were kind of irritated that they didn't get their opportunity to have a ticket to go get an autograph from Kutch, right, or others, right? So I mean, again, like it was, and of course, Twitter's not real, right? I mean, everyone at PiratesFest is probably very happy. It's gonna be great, but on Twitter, it seemed like everyone was. I mean, I joke. Everyone was bringing torches and pitchforks to
Twitter matters.
PiratesFest.
It matters. Listen, it matters.
It matters, but it's also not real life per se. But yeah, a lot of people were very, very angry at the Pirates on that day. So. Again, as always, what was a good thing turns into like this negative thing. But I don't know. I kind of just want to talk about PiratesFest in general.
So let me get this straight. You have to be a season ticket holder to get an autograph.
I think it was like, I think they were like first dibs on it. Like that first opportunity.
Okay.
Which I kind of get. I'll put it this way.
You mean the person that's paying more and has tickets to the game already this year, many of them?
That's kind of where I'm at. Like I can get the outrage if I'll put it this way. The communication of that wasn't great. People weren't aware of that being a thing. So they kind of went into this
that makes more
blindly
sense to me.
and then found out afterwards. So that part I get. The fact that season ticket holders had the opportunity first to do this, I don't mind at all because I'm with you. I mean, this first off, that's how the world operates, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you're investing your money into us, right? You're have a season ticket, for how much or whatever. Like, I'm going to give you some perks, and this seemed to be one of the perks, and I'm fine with that. But yeah, the communication, which by the way, seems to be one of the things the Pirates have an issue with, right? Communication of that didn't seem to be very well thought out.
Yes, bad communication. Once again, I'll be in Florida with a lot of Pirates, some Hall of Famers, Steve Blass, Teak, Al Oliver.
So they won't be a Pirates
Doug
Fest either.
Drabeck, Matt Capps, Garrett Jones, Jack Wilson, myself, Mike LaValliere. It just, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, like, there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of hirings. There's a lot of people that have gone on to different places. They're doing a lot of things well, but communication, I think, top to bottom, and I can speak from real experience right now and listening to some people that are really worried about what's next when it comes to their job, whether with the Pirates or with, Sportsnet. It's bad. And I don't necessarily know why. I don't think their intentions is that. I just think they maybe have a lot of new people doing things they've never done before. And instead of being simple or even maybe overkill of information, it's been the opposite. They want to get it right. And sometimes getting it right, that time that's allotted there is not probably the good thing to do, especially with sports fans.
Yeah.
I'd rather cannonball in and then try to figure it out than, put my toe in and run away, put my toe in and then never really get in and then be like, oh, it's winter. It's cold. I can't swim now.
Well, Mr. Happy Death Trails, we understand how you want.
Oh, I'd cold plunge. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Right.
No doubt.
Now, I guess I'll say this. I mean, that kind of makes sense. And also, now granted, it's their own fault because they should have never not had Pirates Fest. But I guess this would be the first time this whole new regime has had Pirate Fest in the convention center as well. Because they had the one time, but it was a PNC that was kind of very light and, whatever. So I guess maybe I can understand, like, hey, this is the first time a lot of people are doing this. But again, it's not really to excuse it.
Well, I mean, it's just marketing 101. I mean, you're branding the players, branding the team, and you want to make everybody excited about what's to come. And if they're not really excited about it, and if it's not something that's just gung-ho and the players are excited about it, I mean, the fans are going to find something to put energy into. And obviously it wasn't, trying to get autographs, right? So it's wild. It really is. I often say you have to be prepared to win at all times, even if you don't see it, because that win could be right around the corner. If you're not ready, you can't take that turn and you just keep going straight and you missed your opportunity. And I think too often in any big business and in sports, especially, there's so many smart people, they outsmart themselves. I'm not saying that's what the Pirates are doing, but I would say oftentimes when I get to know enough, I'm like, man, I think we just outsmarted ourselves.
Now, luckily, we never outsmart ourselves. We don't have that problem.
No, I'm like a monkey. I'm fine. I'm not going to outsmart myself.
There you go. Hot dog. Fourth Friday, never outsmarting ourselves.
Yeah. You may. You may. I mean, you had a sick intro, but me,
nah.
I got hit in the head a lot.
Well, yeah. I mean, you did.
You did a lot of foul tips.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah. Again, I kind of get that, but I'm just happy also and thankful. And I think now that it's calmed down a little bit, like Pirates Fest is back. And like, what a great opportunity. What a great event. Finally, it's here. I wish there was maybe this big move that people have talked about after Kutch. I wish that was happening.
And maybe
Kutch himself is big. So like having something else on top of it would just, I feel like David Lawrence Convention Center would just implode. But so far, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I heard Tupac's going to perform, so just be ready. Yeah, it's going to.
Well,
he's still alive.
He is.
Him and Elvis will be there. No, I loved Pirate Fest. I loved Rockies Fest. I thought the Rockies, did some things that were really, really cool that I wish the Pirates would maybe embrace. But yeah, it's so rewarding. And I think my real favorite part was Caravan.
Yeah.
Going around the towns, because you get to know these people. And I still have a heart for Johnstown when I went there. And I go every single year. I was just there recently with the Mill Rats ownership group. And they're just great people, man. And I played at that ballpark when I was a kid. I was 18, really first time I was away from home. We played the championship series there. I can't think of the tournament, but then you go back and look. Doug Flutie played in it. The laundry list of major league guys and professional athletes that played in Johnstown, PA, is unreal. But like, you don't realize the impact you make on people's lives just to talk to them for 15 minutes about baseball or give them a tip about their kid, or they had a moment, which is really cool now that it's been a little over a decade since I was first a Pirate, hearing stories of like mom and son or dad and son or daughter and son coming, whatever it is, coming in to the game. Something happened that they fell in love with the Pirates, and I just happened to be there or happened to be a part of it. And they're like, that's when I became a Pirates fan. And a lot of times, they've lost their dad or their mom or whoever took them, his grandpa. And dude, you talk about humbling. But I heard a lot of those stories, when I was out in those communities, not at Caravan, but when I went and I'd go speak or do a faith night or something like that, and you'd hear a story. And that's what it's all about. I think the world in general is losing that, the human element and how important it is. Like, you're right. Like, those fans pay the way. Somebody did a breakdown with the Dodgers, and, they can pay for their entire roster because of the ticket sales. So everything after that is profit, and obviously making sure that everything's up and going. But like, their player salary is literally done with ticket sales. So, I mean, you should always try to give back, but I wish they'd bring back Caravan. I'm not going to be there. I know I'm joking around. I would 100% rather be on the baseball field, but I wish I could do both. And I know a lot of those guys down there wish they could do both, even if it was just for, a couple hours, do your thing, and we all bounce. I mean, Rock's out of the country. I know he'd love to be here. It's probably the first one he's ever missed.
Okay.
Even as a kid.
Actually, you're right.
Yeah. Literally, he's maybe one of the first ones he's ever missed. I was thinking about that last night.
Interesting. So I kind of like want to know that experience and like the player's point of view, because as a fan, it's a great time. You see all the people, you meet, players face to face, talk about that chat. But like, as a player, like what's Pirates Fest like to you? And also, like, was there a moment that stands out at Pirates Fest that you remember?
Yeah, there's a couple moments, but I think some of the like intimate moments, like I was just talking about, and then just being able to be around the guys. You're not around most of those guys often in the off season, and then you do like family feuds and all this stuff, and we get really into it because it's so competitive. In Rockies Fest, we had ping pong and PlayStations and all that stuff, and we're playing the show against fans, and of course they're all way better because they play more often, so they're just punching tickets. I'll never forget, I was in Tulo's group, and kid punches him out, and he goes, "You got nothing on me, Tulo. You got nothing on me." And he got so into it. I don't think he came with me. And when I came back 2 hours later, they were still going, I believe. I really believe it was about 2 hours. Yeah, and that's what it is.
But think about that. I mean, that's the only way
that little kid will never forget
but that kid struck out Tulowitzki
on the show.
That's not how the story goes.
Yeah.
I struck out Tulowitzki.
Yeah.
That's where it stops.
Each year it gets a little bit better. Yeah. Gets a little bit better. Yeah. I heard a funny the other day. Actually, Bob Walk told me the story. This guy was like, "Hey, remember me? Played against you in high school." On and on. Couldn't have known it was Bob Walk. He goes, "You remember blah, blah, blah." Elaborate story, 10 minutes in. And Walkie goes, "Oh, where'd you go to high school?" He goes, "Oh, somewhere out in Mars, PA." He goes, "Okay. I grew up in California." And the guy was like, so funny.
That's hilarious.
I've had that happen too, and I've heard that so many times. because it gets exaggerated and you think something and it's not.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
And,
you go back.
Let's be honest. How many times he's told that story in his life now to how many people?
Yeah. Yeah. He's looking at him on TV saying that and
Yeah.
has to think he's somebody else or thinks he literally played against Bob Walk. I didn't get that part and Bob didn't ask. He left. But I just think about that. Like, how funny is that? And some of my favorites is I'll be listening to a story and they'll be talking about, let's just say, Josh Harrison. Oh, yeah, I know Jay. They have no clue who I am. And they're going on and on. I'm like, oh, okay. And I remember one time, I can't remember who it was, but whoever they were talking about, they called me while I was in that conversation. I was like, oh. Dude, here. And
that's crazy.
Yeah. Face got red, everything else. Oh, I gotta go. It's so I didn't think twice about it. I just thought they were telling me the truth. And then come to find out how often that happens, just the cool points, I guess. Priceless. Or when they're talking bad about somebody, like, oh yeah, that's me. By the way, that's me. We're talking about me. Yep. That backup catcher you didn't like, that's me. Yep. Yeah, it's fun.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So you brought it up, Family Feud. I want to know what is going on in this picture. I mean, you talked about there's some competitiveness going on right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's who we are. If you ever see us do anything, we're gonna do it with all of our might, and it's gonna be competitive. We've played ping pong for a good, I would venture to say, about 5.5 hours, 6 hours straight.
Really?
Yep. We were at his bachelor party downtown Nashville. Okay. Everybody's so tired. We had such a crazy schedule. Of course, give me an opportunity to have fun. I'm going to take every bit of it. So, I mean, we're doing tactical stuff, all this stuff in the morning. And so we're all exhausted, but all of a sudden in this bar, a light comes down from above and there's a ping pong table. Oh yeah. It's 11 o'clock. We shut down that bar that night playing ping pong and people wrapped around us. No one knows who we are, right? Because we're in Nashville. Kutch has a cowboy hat on. He has his dreads. Everybody thinks he's Fitzgerald and forgets that Fitzgerald's like 6'5", and we're just going for about 3 hours, out at the bar.
Now, and again, mind you, first time there only, but I've now been to Nashville. Mm-hmm. I've seen those bars.
Mm-hmm.
They're not empty.
No, it was not empty.
They're far.
We had a group of guys. We had a group of guys that kind of made, and then it became kind of a show. I mean, I don't think you understand what I'm talking about. Go back to the picture. Look at the face. He's got the smirk.
Yes.
And I've got that I may eat your hair.
I am going to wreck you.
Yes. And that doesn't change whether it is flip cup or it doesn't matter what it is. That's how we go, period. And
love it.
I dove in that bar that night to make a save. That's just what happens. He's so good with defense, and I like to slam and power. And for a long time,
once again.
Yeah. Go in, go all, or go out, right? So, but over the years, I've started to go a little bit more defense. I got to play him. I think he's scared. He hasn't taken me up on my challenge. We've talked about pickleball, which I think could be pretty interesting.
You know what I bet Kutch can't do?
Fly?
Eat 37 hot dogs.
Oh, no chance. No chance.
You might get him there.
I can't eat 37 hot dogs.
Well, I bet you could eat more.
Right now, yes, I probably could. I'm definitely not in the shape he is. So I probably can put down some hot dogs. Not 37 though.
Don't attempt to eat 37 hot dogs right now. Pirates kind of need you this season. Let's not.
Please, yeah. No.
Yeah. Let's not do that.
Yeah. Not a good idea.
No.
So but yeah, that was one of those. That was Family Feud, I believe, that we played. But that was fun. And then, I would say hindsight, I wish I could go back, and I've got to do this with some things, is go back and hear what they said. Like what Hurdle said, what Neil Huntington said, and whether it was a fly on the wall or being in a panel, because they let fans ask questions and they were pretty open about what they could ask. Like, hey, just ask. And I love that. I think during the off season, I would love once a month for one of the color analysts and or broadcast group, and either Joe Block, Greg Brown, or just 2 players or a front office staff go somewhere. They lock and key the door and they go live. You have to pay to get in, and they can ask anything they want.
Didn't they kind of do that last year?
No,
I believe.
Nope.
No,
I'm saying, like, why do you not do this? Like, let's say that they want to ask the Bob Nutting question, right? And we give the best answer we possibly give. And I spoke at a country club and I answered that question, and these dudes were loaded, right? So like they had no regard, I thought, to what I would say, but I explained it in a way that they all were like, never thought about it like that. And I'm like, yeah, when you look at it differently and you think about what he's doing, it may be a little bit different, because there's a lot of questions you don't want to ask and you don't know to ask. And there's a lot of questions he doesn't know to ask because nobody's telling him, because he's the boss. And all these dudes are the boss. I'm like, do you think anybody's telling him, like, hey, Bob, listen, like, you got all this money? No one over there that has any influence is telling him to spend money. If you ask me, sure, I'll tell him, go sign Trevor Bauer. Pretty simple. Multi-year deal. He'll be fine. And your whole team will be better, especially pitching wise. And if you want to double down, just hire him as an extra pitching coach too. And then sign Kutch to a lifetime deal. Done. You know, like, if you ask, I'll say, but there's not many people in this game that want to do that, or in like life, right? Because you don't want to overstep, you know, but I always believe you always can sleep better at night when you just are honest. You don't want to have that regret, you know? And if they're asking, you know, it's not like you forced it. You're not shoving it down their throat. And I think that's the biggest thing, is like, he gets it from one end or the other. And that's why I think it'd be cool to do that. And the people that come, I think, will be silent, you know, fans that are sitting in the back that really want to know. They'll never ask a question. And then the like flamboyance, we got it figured out, you know, and then just ask them, like, okay, what would you do different? That's one of my favorite questions to fans. Like, okay, cool. Like, where would you spend your money?
I like to throw it back at them.
Good exercise, by the way,
for anything in life.
Yeah. My last one was Hoskins. I did that to somebody.
Okay.
I was like, okay, what's he worth? Rough estimate. It was just kind of rough estimate. I was like, okay, so who's the last right-handed bat that had success at PNC? Go. I'll wait. Power bat that got better.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Who's the one that everybody talks about? Jason Bay.
Yeah.
So go sign Jason Bay again.
That was how many years now?
Right? There's a reason. Until they bring that fence in, one, there's no way you couldn't pay him $180 million, you know, over 10 years. He would not come here, because like, you also care about your numbers and all those things. Like, they have to look at it like that. Like, you just have to look at it from so many different aspects. And it's like, is that where the money should be spent? Like, if you knew how much money you had, is that where you'd want to spend it anyways? You know?
Right.
Especially when you know Carlos Santana's out there. And I mean, we got a great first baseman, I think. So I think you just have to look at it as like, is that where, like, I think I'd rather spend $20 million on a catcher right now. Like, that's a problem, you know?
Yeah. Or a pitcher.
Yeah. Yeah. Or two.
Yeah, that too. No, for sure. Cool. Well,
you don't know where to go now.
Happening with the Pirates? Like,
you can,
I don't know how to phrase this.
No, just, you know me, dude. Like, you can ask what you want to ask. And when I use that pushback with the Hoskins thing, like, we've done that off air. We've done that on air. Jim will do it with me in a heartbeat, and he's never going to leave his stance most of the time. And I love that.
But he's dumb.
Well, we all are. We just established that.
Yeah.
We just talked. See,
we're never,
you already forgot. Yeah. You already forgot.
See? Yeah. But Jim's special. Like, he's never right. That he's always wrong. That's why he's cursed.
He is cursed. We're looking for someone. If you are out there and you happen to have a spell or a potion or a way to take off whatever Jim has done to the Pirates every time he shows up, please call the number that we will show you at the end of the show, please. Because we need help.
412-626-7479.
Yeah,
You can
Jim
break
needs
the
help.
spell of Jim. You know what's funny? And like
it's the hot dogs. He's got to eat 37 hot dogs. That's how it ends. If you believe that out there, you're listening. Does Jim need to eat 37 hot dogs and train to get those hot dogs down and keep them down, Jim? Keep them down to get it to go away. I think if he does that, we have a chance to go to the World Series this year.
We got to try. We have to try.
Yeah, we got to do our part. And Jim, you got to do your part.
Unless he hates the Pirates.
Which we've kind of established with the curse. It's kind of showing.
Right. You know what's funny, though? He said this, and now that we're talking about it again, like, it's absolutely 100% true. And I apologize to a degree. No, but he's like, every time I'm not on a show, you guys end up trashing me, and I don't know why. And I guess it is. Somehow Jim's name gets brought up, and we just trash him.
Yeah,
but it's kind of warranted, right?
Well, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
I guess. You almost got to think about it this way. It's like, just feel good that we're talking about you. You know? We care enough about you to just kind of, take some digs.
Right.
So,
but no, the Pirates right now, there's a lot of people that are kind of unsure of like what's going on. We had Jason Mackey on I guess we're watching this 2 nights ago. We kind of talked about it, and I don't know, but kind of your take, your input on this, looking at it. What's going on with this 2024 roster?
Loaded question. So, like, what's something specific that you're like?
I guess, okay, my worry, and I think a lot of people's, is the action that's not being taken. And again, so far, I know, honestly, it just turned 2024. You can still look and say there's a lot of free agents available and the moves can be made and such, right? But like when you look out there and you see the Reds, who were better last year, doing things. You look and see the St. Louis Cardinals, who weren't better last year, doing things, right? Now, I'll say this. I expected the Cubs to do a lot more than they are. They haven't done anything. So I'm going
to spoil that cereal. They are loud in the baseball community right now. Loud.
Okay.
So I don't know who they're going to say. I haven't even cared to ask, but they are going after some of the best minds in baseball. Not on field, off field.
Gotcha. So
they are plucking, pulling, and prying some of the best minds, and they're putting them in positions that are right. And when that happens, Lord, you know something cool is happening with that team. LA Dodgers is a great example. Whatever they did on the free agent front, their greatest signing was Nelson Cruz and Chris Archer. You know why? That showed what they're trying to do. That added more guys in their network of community that chop it up and argue with the smartest dudes on the planet, because they've already poached guys. Because the best teams have a group of men that don't agree.
So I can get on board with that, right? I get on board with that, and I get the
I'm not saying those two guys. I'm not saying I'm not saying Chris Archer is a baseball savant. I'm not saying Nelson Cruz is. I'm saying Nelson Cruz is an oddity in what he did. Chris Archer is a different cat. Like, they're bringing in different dudes. Chris Archer wasn't a Dodger, P.S. Nelson Cruz didn't play long for the Dodgers. And that's what I'm saying. I got called on the Dodgers twice since I've retired. I wasn't a Dodger. It's because they call and they ask. The Braves do the same thing. And they ask a lot of people. It's wild, man. You can see things like that. The Braves have had a tremendous offseason. Like, they are way better. And they're going to be
goes.
Yeah, just go get Chris Sale. No big deal.
And then extend them. And have Boston pay for
it. Yeah. I still think we have that in the piggy bank. And I think they're working hard. I wouldn't even be surprised if his name was around Sherrington's mouth.
Okay.
Because like that, those moves can change. We know we got Liriano, we got AJ Burnett. Those moves are big for teams like us. And we still need a presence like that. Like, Chris Sale is a Pirate. Like, he's a Pirate, right? That's why I want Trevor Bauer. I don't care what you think about him personally. I literally could care less. I believe in forgiveness. It's been 2 years. He was exonerated from all charges, and he went and dominated dominated in Japan.
Yeah.
And he got, I remind you, $80 million taken away from him. And he paid lawyer fees. And he didn't complain about it. He went and did his thing, came back, and he's working his tail off. And every single person that's been around that man has gotten better, even if they didn't like him, because they learned from him.
But like, let me ask you this, okay? Because you talk about baseball minds, and granted, like, I mean, that needs. I mean, it's almost like the whole analytics first eye test thing, right? Like, you kind of need both, right? Like, you need the minds around there. You need people to make good decisions, put people in the best situations, like you're talking about. But like, you also need talent, right? And I guess that's where I'm at. So I get what you're saying, but I can definitely argue with you that Shohei Ohtani was probably the best move the Dodgers made. You know, and like, that's, I guess, where I'm coming from. So, you know, you're talking the minds, and that's great. Now, part of me says, why did it take this long to get there? But if you're getting there, fine. But then the other part of it is this team, to me, I felt as like it's gotten worse than last year. Naturally, because of the loss of the injuries, right? Like, you expect the end to be here, you expected Johan to be there. They're not now. So that's taken away from you. But I'm just seeing teams like the Reds make moves to improve. The Cardinals make moves to improve. The Brewers, I'm not so sure what they're doing. You know, I think a lot of people felt like there's at least a retool, maybe not a full rebuild, but a retool coming. And so far to date, Corbin Burns is still there. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of action of them wanting to get rid of him. So maybe they're looking, hang on, see what they can do 1 year. So like, you're seeing the NL Central pretty much improving, and the Pirates kind of chilling.
So the Brewers are the highest ranked team,
right?
When it comes to rankings, they're going to be fine. But yeah, I honestly, I wish I could give you a solid answer of like what's happening, and I think they're trying to play chess, and they've been dealt, you know, tinker toys. There's no way they're not trying to trade for a pitcher or a catcher, but the catching, there's a huge epidemic of no catchers of what they're looking for. I don't know if they're trying to get a unicorn, but like, they're not there. Like, Tucker Barnhart's there. Go get him. Like, it may be the best you do, but like, I wanted Tom Murphy. I thought it was great. He could be a starter. He can hit. He's more of an oppo guy. He's not going to pull off his home runs, and he's really smart, and he receives well, blocks well, throws pretty well, gets hurt. So I thought, man, we could probably get him for a couple $1 million, you know, and he may end up being our starter with Indigon. And I think him and Henry Davis, and I'll tell you right now, it would have been a gift for Henry Davis because same personality. That was the knock.
Gotcha.
It wasn't because he couldn't catch. It's because he didn't deal well with people. And I think that's the Henry problem. We'll get in that in the weeds, because I had a huge argument last night with some Pirates people about, like, everybody says he can't catch. Prove to me how that it makes any sense. Give me 100 games with any human being on the planet in the minor leagues and make it make sense. Where's the proof? I can't find proof, even from some of the best baseball minds. They cannot tell me that this guy was a bad catcher. He was bad in minor leagues in 100 games. That's not a whole season, dude.
Okay. So,
right. So, but hold on. I'm going to go real quick. I'm going to go back to saying, like, it's a weird market too. Like, it's a real, I mean, JT Martinez is still out there, and there's guys asking for the moon. And sometimes until they fall, like, I didn't see Jack Flaherty getting as much money as he did. And I'm glad we didn't sign him for that much. You know, I thought we could grab him for 2 years, and that's what I'd really like to see. I want to see a commitment, and I think the fans do too. You know, I think if we go out, and even if, like, I wanted Kiermaier, go out and sign someone that maybe couldn't get a 2 or 3 year deal, and get him a 2 or 3 year deal, because they're like Ohtani. Ohtani's not just the best player on the planet. The dude is playing on a different level when it comes to, like, what he wants to do. He has his game plan. He's going to do it, period. So he's taking way less money so they can do a lot more. He got his best buddy to come over and sign for way more money, knowing that he probably needed it, but they're playing a whole different world. They give him a signing bonus of $70 million, and Ohtani's making $2 million a year, no signing bonus.
Yeah.
Like, we can do weird stuff. We can defer money, because you know what they do with that? Did we talk about this before? You can put that in some investment.
Right.
Right. All those dudes are rich. Put it in an investment. And by the time they pay them that $658 million, it's really like $400 million because of inflation. And they've made it all through interest.
Yep.
Off of him. It's brilliant. And he didn't have to pay taxes. I mean, it's just like win, 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 win. But we don't do that. Like, and that's something that I think isn't talked about a lot, is like the Steelers do an incredible job of picking the right guys. They may not pick the best talent, but you see them every year start to win. And I feel like, and I just kept up with it this year, but like you watch them and it's like, dude, those dudes are coming together in a different way this year, and they may have a shot. You know, like, and that's really cool. Like, that's what you want to do. That's how you win in today's game.
Right.
In a different mindset. But when the Braves are doing it with the ability to spend $280 million if they wanted to, it's hard to win if you don't do it too. And because they have both.
Yeah, I know. I guess, again, there's some impatience here, and it's kind of warranted. It's not as if the Pirates have been on the forefront of.
I hate rebuilding. So I'm with you. I hate that. Like, we have not been rebuilding. They never say it. If they did, they'd say, this is our 5-year plan. Right.
Right. And that's part of it. And you know, I just feel like this year is a huge, huge year for this rebuild. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things too. It's like, you know, if you're not really going in this year to try to compete, then you're waiting another year. And like, it's a whole other year of not having Brian Reynolds in his prime. Like, how many years is he going to be a Pirate and never see a winning season?
But I will argue with you about if they're going to be worse or better. Right. Because you'd have to assume that Oviedo gets better. You'd have to assume that Indy Rodriguez gets way better, right? There's a lot of assumptions. So now take those guys out, okay? Same numbers behind the plate. DeLay's better defender. That other guy's supposed to be a better defender than Indy.
Yeah.
Right. Now Henry Davis hits 280 with 20, right? I think Peguero is probably the best young player outside of O'Neal Cruz, right? So he's our second baseman. He takes off. I see Hanley Ramirez when I look at him. That's how talented I think
you did talk about that. Yep. Yeah, I forgot about that.
He's fallen in love with Acuna, and he's kind of mimicked some of the game behind that, but he's a dude that could steal 50 bases this year if they give him the freedom and he feels free. If Kutch comes out, plays some right field and is a plus right fielder, we have 3 guys in the outfield to be plus outfielders. And that dude we got from Kansas City, holy steal. I mean, he's an upgrade in every single way in our outfield. So we've done okay. It's going to be interesting to see if they toy around. And I didn't even mention the superhuman because we didn't have him. So he's in the lineup. They get some pitching because you can argue all day long that the 2 lefties we got are better than Rich Hill, right?
Yeah.
And then we didn't have Velasquez. We didn't have JT Brubaker. We're going to have JT Brubaker at some point. So I do think looking at it, we're better to start the year, but we want more. I think that's what I said last night with some colleagues. I said, yeah, we want more is the problem because we saw 11, 12. Everybody's saying 11. I was like, I don't know. It feels like 12. And then Neil said it too. He's like, yeah, it just feels more like 12. Like the depth is already there. They can sign. They're signing really good strategic minor league free agents, which is something that Sheraton's known for when he thinks winning's happening. So I'm interested, but I do have question marks because they still have a lot of money. They have a lot of money to spend. No, they really do. If you look at the numbers and what they've kind of been doing, if they've been saving it, they're brilliant. But even if they didn't, they have money.
And again, I guess that's just where like a lot of this comes from, you know, and we talked and touched a little bit of this before, you know, I talked about being risk adverse, right? Just like there's always question marks. So like fill yourself some insurance. And I feel like that's just like what they haven't touched on. And when you have this money, you can kind of pay for that insurance and they're not doing it. So it's like when you're seeing the Reds go out there who have a lot of prospects too, and they all hit base last year, but you know, you can have your sophomore slump and not hit. Some aren't going to maintain that level. So it's like what the Reds are doing is they're supplementing that with, hey, here's a guy. We're going to give him money, right? To ensure that we have that. Like look at the moves they've made, right? And that's why I feel like
they made one really bad move though. and it's going to come back. The Canadian.
The Canadian?
Yeah.
Don't bringing him back?
Don't take the option and bring that man back.
Yeah.
It's going to be a huge mistake because those kids have never had him, not had him. He was dad. He was dad, and he's a real dad. Like, he really poured into those guys. So I think that was a mistake because I don't think people realize the value of guys like him. Like, he for me is like Michael Kadire. I played with Kadire for 2 years, and he was on the field, maybe half of it. He had more impact in that clubhouse than anyone else, including our GM. Anybody in the state of Colorado didn't have as much impact as Justin Morneau and Michael Kadire, period. And if we had a better team and we were healthy, we could pitch, we would have won. Because if you look at the infield and you look at the dudes that came out of that team that I was with, Nolan Arenado at third base, Tulo, shortstop, DJ, right? DJ's at second. Crazy. Charlie Blackmon's in the outfield, Carlos Gonzalez. Like, it was a great team, but just had no pitching. They were all hurt. Everybody was hurt. And big part of it is all those dudes, every single one of them, including Tulo, got better. It was mind-boggling. Even me, I had 314 that first year with those guys. It was because of those guys. Like, I talked every single day with Morneau in the cold tub, just like I did when he was a Pirate, about the game. We broke it down, what we could have done better. He asked me why I called this pitch. Dude, and same thing with Tulo. Tulo would break it down, and that's what it takes. Those guys want to win, and that's the culture we have to build, and that's what Votto has.
I mean, I love Votto, by the way.
Yeah, I wanted to sign him personally.
We kind of debated that behind the scenes a little bit, like a Votto to Pittsburgh, if that would be cool or not. I love the guy.
I would sign Votto and Cueto. I told you that. Votto and Cueto. Just go get him.
Ooh, Cueto. I love me some Cueto, even though I shouldn't, but
yeah. But it's okay. I mean, but he's got like a 0 here ERA, except the blackout game. If you just talk about really just regular season games, dude never got hit.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'll say this, like, it is kind of cool hearing especially guys who went through that time frame to look at this and say it looks more like 2012-ish. And like, I'm not poo-pooing the same, like, it can't be by any means. I'm just worried because I feel like this is a year to push. Like, this is the year to do it. You're looking at NL. The other thing too, the NL Central was tough. It was tough as hell back then. I mean, that was one of the best divisions in baseball. I mean, you had 3 teams in the playoffs. I mean, like it was a tough ass division. And I feel like this is why it's not that tough, but it's about to be. It is about to be. So, like, push. And
it's not going to change.
Have the funds
for a while.
And
get
there, like, capitalize on this. And I just feel like that's what they're missing out on. And that's what's kind of disappointing. But at any rate.
And I'm not taking any sides, but like these big, like Blake Snell not signing is hurting us. Because if he signs with Seattle, we may have a trade there for pitching. And that's the one thing is like and I think that's where he wants to go. He's wanted to play there his entire life. And I think he's just trying to get to a number that doesn't make the MLBPA cringe, because I think he would take a lot less. And I think he should if he wants to. But I think that's the biggest problem is like they're trying to grab guys. They've grabbed some guys, but it's like, how do we get the dudes we want in a trade when they're not going to trade anybody until they make that one move they need to make? That's kind of how free agency works. So yeah, and I'm really interested to see if like some things happen really fast. But yeah, we have a roster issue. So they're going to have to do something, especially up the middle, man. We have way too many players. And then once again, like I'm interested to see what they do behind the plate.
Same. I'm interested to see what they do everywhere. Because like everywhere, I'm just like, they could do like 13 different things in each position, and except for maybe third.
And that's the biggest that, in my opinion, that's their biggest problem.
Yeah.
Like if Nick Gonzalez knows, hey, you're not going to make the big leagues, just like they told him last year.
Mm-hmm.
We want you to go down, dominate. You're going to be a super utility guy, and you're going to hit homers as a little guy, and you're going to stay healthy. Let him go do it. Let him figure it out. Shoot, make him a catcher. I bet he could figure it out. Like whatever, like, but just fully commit. And I feel like that's, when I hear people talk, not you guys as much, but like especially baseball-minded people, I think they just don't look at it and say, I don't think we have talent problem. I think we have commitment problem. Like last year we went in and Oviedo's not going to make team, but he's not going to go to bullpen. Then he's going to go to the bullpen. Oh, he can't throw his fastball. Now he can't throw his fastball. And it's like, I think they know. They're just not as transparent as they should be. And if they would be, I think it would really help. Like if everybody knew that we were going to do what Kansas City did, we would be on the edge of our seats waiting for big signs because we have that type of ability.
Yep.
And Kansas City's going to be a lot better. They got what they needed, but it's because they have a generational player. We do too.
But
we do too. In the making, Key Brian Hayes, not O'Neal Cruz, because Key Brian Hayes, if he does what he did offensively for 4 months instead of 2 or 3 or whatever it is, he's an all-star. He has a chance. Exactly. And I don't think people see that. And Jack Sawinski is not far behind from being that type of caliber player too. Because if he takes a step forward that I think he could take, we have 2 MVPs in the race because there's that thing that they love, the analytics, and they're analytic babies. And Jack Sawinski's average could go way up because he did some things at the end of the year. All those singles to right field, that was a commitment. And that was a 7-month commitment. And last guy that had that type of commitment from a team was Mitch Keller. And he was an all-star.
Yep.
And I think they've made some really good moves there.
I'll say this in some foreshadowing. I definitely want to talk to you about those players in upcoming shows.
Yeah.
We'll definitely want to pick your brain and break them down kind of closer to the season.
Yeah. And I'll be doing.
I know you like yourself some Jack Sawinski as well. So I was definitely we'll go down that passage soon.
Yeah. And I like him as a human, man.
Yeah.
Like when you go around the city and like common names get brought up and he's one of them, obviously Bednar, Kutch, and him. That was me, right? I was named with a lot of guys I shouldn't have been because I was nice and I worked my tail off. That's Jack Sawinski for me. Nobody ever asked me about Brian Reynolds, but you need your Brian Reynolds. He's going to be a great player every year. You know what you're going to get, and he's quiet. You know, you don't hear Key Brian Hayes ever.
No.
Same thing. But Jack Sawinski is the dude that's going to speak at churches. He's at schools in Chicago. That's cool. So's Ohtani. You know what I mean? Like that's guys you say, well, shoot, yeah, here's more money because you do everything else, you know, personally. And
like it.
One last thing, and then we'll go on, is going back to that Nelson Cruz thing. Okay. Everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. Okay. Now I want you to put this in perspective. Chris Archer's AJ Burnett. Okay. Now, whoa. Now, right? That's one, right? Now, Nelson Cruz is Michael Kadire. How much better we just get?
Listen, I would take those two into this organization all day long. And I think, and you actually kind of touched on this, I think the last show, that's something that the Pirates miss out on doing. And I get it.
I got a homework.
But my counterpoint is we also need AJ Burnett, the player, to be on the field too. And I think we're missing out on that. Who was the
only human being he was tied to?
What do you mean?
Who was the only human being he was tied to on our team?
Mitch?
Enough said. Jeff Locke.
Yeah.
Mitch Keller is Jeff Locke. One kid. He just needs one kid. Michael Kadire needs one kid. That's 2 kids. Give me one. Give Neil one. You have 4. Boom. There's no way that Neil Walker isn't around Henry Davis and I'm not around Henry Davis all the time. Because what did Neil Walker do? First rounder, catcher, move positions.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I went from being a defensive guru to I'm in the big leagues and I can't throw because I have a torn labrum and I obviously can't catch. And that's all I heard because Rod Barajas couldn't catch. You know, and I could help him with that mentally and get past that because I got to flip the script. And that's the difference, man. It's not so much, and we both do it for free. And that's what I think.
That's what's Pirates.
But no. But that's the difference that I don't think because of COVID, people that like PiratesFest hasn't happened. It may change some things. I thought the blackout game last year when Kutch came back would blow their minds. And it kind of did, but it kind of didn't. But Pirate Fest may get them because they're going to see an animal they've never seen before. And I hope it does. But if they went on Caravan, I'm telling you right now, it would change because they're going to see that there's something different here. And they should by our numbers every year on TV.
Well, let's hope they do.
I hope so, man. I can't knock them either way. I mean, like I really can't. Like I can't say they're doing it right. I can't say they're doing it wrong, but I can say I don't think they know some of the things because it's hard to know. But they'll show up. You win, they'll show up and they'll fall in love with guys. Don't miss that part. They've
certainly showed it. And again, like we talked about, I mean, it sounds as if this is a huge turnout for PiratesFest. And this is after how many years of, let's be honest, piss poor baseball. It's not as if like this is a team coming off the world championship and it's like, hey, let's go Pirates. Right? Like it's a team that finally got to 5th place last year in the division. So, with this type of a turnout where they're at right now, I mean, like they're talking about, like it speaks. So, and you saw when they were good, what happened. I mean, everyone talks about the game. So, maybe this new regime can start seeing that.
Yeah, be interesting.
Yeah,
be interesting.
Cool. Well, let's do this. We'll wrap the show up. As always, we talk about, we have the voicemail. Call it. Give us your question, comment, whatever you want to do. 412-626-7479. We got something from Kyle once again. This is kind of interesting. So we'll play a little game here for it, but I'll play the question. Well,
Kyle, I'm buying your jersey.
Going on, Fort and DiNardo. It's Kyle again, and I have a pretty fun question for you guys today. Now, DiNardo is already privy to this, so he should have a tier list ready. But my question is, or I guess it's more of a request. I want to see the Fort rank all of the bobbleheads of his former teammates that were given out at Pirates games. Now, this consists of a long list of players. We've got Paul Maholm, Ryan Domit, Andrew McCutchen at 3 different times, Neil Walker, Joel Hanrahan, AJ Burnett, Charlie Marte, Pedro Alvarez, and Josh Harrison. Now, I've provided all the pictures to Nardo, so I'm excited to see you guys haggle this out and see what your S tier bobbleheads are and which ones are more so at the bottom of the barrel. So thank you, and I'm looking forward to seeing this new episode.
So let's do it. So I have everything ready. So I have I shouldn't say that. He sent me all the pictures. I have everything here ready to display and such. So we'll go down through all the bobbleheads. We'll rank them. But here's what we're going to do for it. We kind of talked about this. We're going to open up for everyone else. Mm-hmm. So I'll share this, make this public. Everyone go ahead and give us what your rankings are on these bobbleheads, right? But we're going to do it here as well. We're going to have you go ahead and rank them. And I think I have some opinions on these as well, too.
Yeah, I want to hear it. And is this teammate bobblehead, coolness of bobblehead? Like he didn't specify here. There's some things here because like if he didn't pick Bob Walk, like I consider him a teammate. I mean that chair is maybe besides the Renegade one of the best bobbleheads ever made.
That might like I'm ever made. Of bobbleheads. If you go to Marlins Park, right, you see the bobblehead thing there, that should just be on the top of its own case.
Yeah, it should be enshrined in maybe even the Hall of Fame, honestly.
The Baseball Hall of Fame, absolutely.
Yeah. With
That's
Kyle
like
and a hot dog.
Iconic moment of Pirates baseball.
Yeah.
Forget the Cueto game. It's Bob Walk falling out of his chair.
And then the thumb coming up like this.
Right.
Yeah, so good. So good.
But you make a good point. I don't know. How do you want to rank it?
I want to go just on the bobblehead itself.
Okay. That's kind of where I was going.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go. If you want to do teammates, Kyle, just let us know. I'll tell you, I'll put it all together. We'll go full package.
Cool. Sounds like a plan. So here's what we'll do. We'll bring this up here. So of course we have our tier ranking over here. Here is all the bobbleheads over here. So we'll go just down the list right here. So first one is AJ Burnett. So like when you look at this bobblehead,
looks rushed. I'm sorry, whoever did this. If there's an elf out there somewhere that worked on this in the toy shop, I'm sorry, but I will say the stance is good. You know, he turned his glove in because he didn't want the second base to see. And they should have put him in the black jersey, not the camo. You put Batman in the black, man. I think the black jersey would have maybe moved him up the list, but right now he's at the bottom. Not as AJ Burnett, but as his bobblehead. And I think he would say so.
So you're going to give him D level then, D tier, the very bottom.
Yeah, as of right now, he's at the bottom. And you have to agree with me. You know you do. Go ahead and say it.
So I'll say this, right? So like looking at I'm also looking at how they look, and that looks like AJ. So I'll give him that. Like this looks like AJ.
He's way better looking than that, man.
But granted, yes, but
and it's an older bobblehead, but come
terrible. Like these are free bobbleheads, right? They're usually pretty bad. So of bobblehead standards on Friday night when you're going to the baseball game, getting for free, right? For the first 10,000 or 20,000, not too bad. But I'm with you. The black, that would have made it. Like you have to go black.
You got to go black.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. So you're giving D tier for AJ Burnett.
As of right now, I mean, that could change if something gets worse.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd be surprised.
Well, then.
Because that's my guy. It should be better.
Right. Let's move on. Your boy Kutch. So there's 3 Kutches in here.
You picked okay. Please.
We'll start with the first one, right? We'll start with this first one.
It's like Little Penny. Remember that commercial?
Yeah, that's a good call. This is very Little Penny-ish.
Yeah. It looks like he may talk, but like it looks like they molded him together. It doesn't even look like him. It's like I would say it's Lutch. You know, his little brother, Lutch, little bobblehead brother. And 2, by the way, do you see his shoes?
So thank you. Okay, thank you. The music like this.
How do you miss that? Yeah, I mean, he could get in trouble for that.
Now I'll say the Kutch.
You put him in Mizuno's. That's so
batting
funny.
gloves. I like, but yeah, this is like even the jerseys kind of. It's okay.
And what year is that?
See, I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm with you. Like when I said AJ, this doesn't really look like Kutch.
That may be like 11 Kutch, you know, because the dreads aren't very long. He doesn't have swag on. And like they don't even have him in action shot. It's like, I'm here, man. Whatever.
Just chilling.
Yeah, like he wasn't the MVP and whatnot. It's crazy. So it has to be like 11 early on. That's my guess. And he's got Mizuno's on. Unbelievable.
So what's your ranking here?
For my man, he's got more. He's below AJ.
Ooh, so are you moving AJ up? Then
I would want him. I would want him, and I'm gonna try to find him. And he's gonna be my little sidekick, like Little Penny this year. I'm gonna ask him questions. Yeah, I'm gonna. Hey, Lutch, what you got, Lutch?
So where you put him? You're gonna move AJ up then because of this one?
No, just keep him right there. They're at the
D.
Yeah, we can do better.
All right, so we'll do second Kutch. Now this one looked a little better. Now what I'll say here is, so you got the little goatee going on. It looks. I think we're getting closer to Kutch. Now, like the detail. Look at the veins, right?
He does have the veins. Yeah.
You go down. The uniform is still kind of. It's okay. But hey, we got the gold glove here. So I don't know what's your take on this one.
Well, 1, you don't hit with your glove in the box. 2, look at his back foot. Right? It's pointed the wrong way. And is he? I don't know. Maybe he's on deck. Maybe it's a pickup game.
Maybe.
I don't know. Does he have? It looks like he has Fikes on now, not Mizuno's. But yeah, and like he works so hard on his posture, and you got his head tilted the wrong way. The one thing he never wants to do, you made sure to do it. So, yep, that's still way down. I'm gonna say that I like that one even less than the other one. Like Lutch moves up.
So okay, so D, and you're gonna put Lutch up to C.
Yeah, Lutch, and the other one's Dutch.
Lutch and Dutch.
Yeah, Lutch and Dutch. Now let's go to Kutch.
Let's do it. So here is the third and final Kutch of the series. We got MVP Kutch. Now, we can still kind of discuss this, right? The face. But
he's in a suit and tie. Give my man a new bobblehead this year.
So you hate all the Kutches.
I like that. I mean, he's a good friend of mine, man. I'm going to be, hard on things that I, care about, and I care about him, and that's terrible. I mean, he's not even that swaggy. Like, at least put him in some nice J's. He wouldn't be wearing a tie. Like, he probably had to wear a tie. It's tie event. He's got it untucked, but come on. If you're going to do that, put him next to his wife, because that's how that picture was probably taken.
Okay. We have a couple. We can have a couple's bobblehead.
Yeah, and we would both say our wives are the MVP. So, boom.
There it is. All right.
Yeah, it's not bad, but yeah, I still like Lutch is my favorite now.
Okay. So
even though he's wearing Mizuno's, I like Lutch. My favorite.
Mizuno's. So you putting him on D ranking also?
No, you can go ahead and put him up and move Lutch up a little bit higher. I like Lutch. I don't know why. I'm gonna
give him some love. He's
go move him up. One more.
Hey.
Yeah, right there.
All right.
I like Lutch.
Okay, so let's.
Are you with me so far?
I'll stay quiet. For now.
Okay.
I'll say it. Yeah, I am. I am, but I think I'll explain later.
Yeah, and those are two of your favorite players too, right?
Yeah.
Besides me, of course.
Michael McHenry.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. I know you sleep with my jersey on your ceiling. I get it.
Yeah. Okay. But no, so here is Joel Hanrahan coming to you at PiratesFest. All right. So what do you think about Joel? I think the face is.
So pull it back out and tell me you knew that was Joel without looking.
No.
I thought maybe Brian Morris, Brad Lincoln.
Okay.
And you dropped to Joel Hanrahan. That's below AJ. But hey, he's in good shape right there.
He is in pretty good shape.
I mean, no, that's didn't even get the body type right. He should have been a large human, like a bigger bobblehead.
He just looked like I'm with you.
Like I feel
on the body. He first off, this looks like the most unathletic human I've seen.
You know who that is?
One of them more. Who?
It's Kyle Hendricks.
Speaking of unathletic, this is Kyle Hendricks.
Right. That's Kyle Hendricks with a little bit of Joel Hanrahan face.
Okay.
It's their love child, and he got all of Hendricks's genetics.
There it is. So definitely not a flamethrower either. Sorry, Joel.
Yeah. Yep.
So Joel at D as well?
Yeah. We'll say Joel Kendricks.
Joel Kendricks.
Yeah, we got to name him.
Kendricks hand. All right. Well, then your boy, Jay Hay.
What?
So again, we'll start with the face here.
Swaggy.
Here's Jay Hay's face.
The face isn't even close, but I will give him some props. They got the necklace on, and they got him tapping his cleats.
Oh, okay.
Every time he comes out of the box, tap, 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 tap. They got the swag on. What shoes are those?
That's a good question. I don't know. They look very custom-ish.
So I like
don't
that
know if it's
too.
just bad paint job or
I like that too. I think the Jay Hay name could have had a brand. They should have ran with it. So I like that too. He's moving up. Put him next to Lutch. Actually,
the baggy
put him
pants,
below
socks.
Yep. Put him below.
I do like this one, and also it's kind of low. I like the detail on the helmet on this also. If that makes any.
Yeah, it looks like that old MTV cartoon when they were like clay. Remember back in the day?
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah, Celebrity Death. That's what it looks like. But I don't know. I don't know who that man is in the face. No. He got reconstructive surgery. Yeah.
So the face, no, but I do like this one. Just like how you said before, just seeing this is Jay Hay.
Yeah, whoever that is, that actually is, that's a great Jay Hay costume.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Great. So we'll keep him right in the middle because it's not really Jay Hay, but man, they nailed the costume.
So B tier for Jay
Hay. Okay, B. I like B.
Okay. Cool. Next up, our boy Neil Walker. Fort. So remember I said I'll hold it a little bit?
That's Sean Casey.
Do you know where I went with this?
Where'd you go?
Does that not look John Travolta?
Yes, it does. It does. The
Like
chin
as
does
soon as
it.
I open this
chin
up,
does
I
it.
was like,
Yeah.
why is John Travolta wearing a Pirates helmet? That is
So,
not Neil Walker. That might be the worst face I've seen.
I mean, the one guy that's from Pittsburgh, and it's that bad. They couldn't get him the grand slam or the walk-off homer where he's like this.
He doesn't even
Something
seem
just
renegade.
cool. Man, that's so bad. At least I got the two-tone bat. I don't know what cleats he's wearing, but they don't look like Under Armour.
No.
Yep. So I'm that's at low grade. He did do the white batting gloves often, and I do see him in the Pittsburgh white. You could have thrown him in the old school Grays uniform though, and a bit sick.
Ooh.
Or the old black and yellow pinstripe just for fun. But no, they just. I feel like that's a little racist. We need to move on. I'm getting frustrated.
All right. So what?
They made him like the typical, suburban white kid. It's so bad.
We giving Neil Walker a D?
He's an F. Neil, you deserve better.
We don't even have an F, but we might need to make one just for Neil.
Mm-hmm. Poor Neil.
Okay. Paul Maholm.
You can't mess this one up.
So what do you think about Paul?
Let's go in on the face some.
All right.
The stance isn't terrible. Face isn't too bad. But it doesn't look like Paul. It still doesn't look like Paul.
Now I'll say something too, because again, I was a big shoe
was
person.
an Adidas guy.
I wondered he was an Adidas guy.
He was, wasn't he?
He went to Mizuno, I think, most of his career, but I think early on it was Adidas. Because I saw others and it was Mizuno. I went to Pirates. I'm looking, and I saw Adidas. I was like, all right, you nailed it.
And I'm pretty sure it's because Mississippi State was Adidas, and he just carried it over. And they made really good cleats back in the day, and then they kind of fell off, came back. It's hard to mess him up. So we'll give him a C. He looks more like our lefty that comes out of the bullpen now. Barucki looks way more like Barucki, who needs to be.
I see it.
Don't you? It looks just like
Oh
Barucki.
my God, that is Ryan Barucki. They're going to repurpose this.
They should.
I guarantee you they have some left over. It's going to be Ryan Barucki this year.
Yep. I need to get one of those and give it to Kutch so he can change the name and put it up
nice.
There. It looks just like Barucki.
It looks more like Barucki. Yeah, it does.
Even the motion.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. This is fun. Thanks. I like this.
This is crazy, actually.
Yeah, it's wild. I'll be interested to see what the guys say about that one.
So where's Paul going?
Just because he looks like Barucki, we gotta put him in the C category.
Okay.
And like I said, how do you mess up Paul Maholm? Like he probably had 4 things in his locker. He was like Greg Maddux, 1 pair of cleats, glove, scout report, and go. Like
nice.
Yeah. Like, did you see how generic everything was?
Oh yeah,
that's him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
that's Barucki now.
Oh my God. All right. So next one up, 3 more. Pedro Alvarez.
Ooh, that one's
now
good.
Again, little kudos to Silver Bat, Silver Slugger here.
Yeah, that's like a little drop in too. That's good.
Yeah.
And the bat looks really small.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that one. That's my favorite
Nike
so
cleats.
far. Yeah, Nike cleats, pants down. He's got it over. A little bit of the black showing. Yep, that's my favorite so far, by far.
When I look at that, that's Pedro. Like it looks like him.
And I'm thinking about the time he hit the ball in the river.
Yeah.
This
is Pedro.
Yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
So where are you ranking him?
He's top, number 1. Right,
so
right.
We
it's
finally
Lutch.
hit S tier.
Yep, Lutch, and that is actually the bull. That's the bull right
Toro.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Okay. Second to last one left. Our boy Ryan Domit.
All right, send a text because I'm writing these down. Okay, Ryan Domit.
What do you think?
I don't know who that is.
It's apparently Ryan Domit with a 41 on his hat.
It's not Ryan Domit. Black jerseys, close. Jack forearms. They should have made his eyes super, super black. And whatever catching glove he has on.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what this is. Fort. I'm
that's
sorry,
the worst.
but
That's the worst one.
yeah,
That may be worse. That's worse than Neil Walker. And 2, make him a hitter.
yeah. This wasn't what he was known for. Sorry, but I'm with you.
Like he should have been scary looking. Like
this isn't
if you pull up to Domet in a bar, he's drinking a beer. Like it's a guy you think a couple times before you say anything disrespectful, because like he has a little bit of serial killer in him, and they didn't portray that at all. Like that guy looks like he's gonna go, teach math in the offseason at a nice prep school. That's just not Domet at all.
Yeah, and my biggest thing here too is just like this mitt, like
that's not a mitt.
I don't know what any of this is.
That's maybe an oven mitt. Maybe
this is just terrible. Is this the oven mitt that Oliver Perez was using to take out the heat?
Yeah, that's it right there. Yep. Yeah, that's bad.
Okay, so where are we ranking this one?
Last.
I'm with you.
I mean, it's a shame what they did to Neil Walker, but like Domet has features you could play with. That's bad. That's bad.
All right, last one up then. Starling Marte. So we'll start with the face here.
Wow, face is pretty good.
I'm with you.
When you get a little close, it's not quite. That's really good, actually. Like celebrity death match, you think he wins. Beautiful beard. Semi-smile. Yellow batting gloves. Got to put him in the black. He should be way more jacked. Way more jacked. Some more veins. Other than that, I'm in. I'm in.
We got the New Balances.
Oh, they even nailed the New Balances?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Obviously, pre-Gold Glove. Batting stance is awful. He would have been, the chain. It would have been he had a really good finish in his swing. Or they could have done the tilt with his barrel. That would have looked cool.
Yeah.
So we'll give him a B.
Okay.
I don't want to put him above J-Hay though.
So in line with J-Hay?
I want to put him below J-Hay. I do. Even though the helmet's nice. It's matte too. Wow. No, he's below J-Hay. Sorry.
Okay, so putting Marte in the C category.
Yep.
Okay.
No, B.
B.
Sorry, B, yeah. So with J-Hay, I guess.
Okay. So there it is. But I'm with you on, I guess, yeah. I'm with you. Like this, for, again, bobblehead standards, to me, that's not a bad face. Like I look at that and say, okay, that could be Starling Marte. I also do, again, I kind of appreciate like the detail in the jersey on this one too.
True.
Like, this is a really good jersey.
Looks like it has a little bit of wrinkle. Like,
yeah,
that's true. That's true. I like the paint look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do.
So I like that one.
But now, if you can, pull up either Bednar's or O'Neill Cruz's and look how much better these things have gotten.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I wasn't prepared for this for
it. I know. That's okay. I wasn't prepared to text while I was talking. I hate doing that. But it happens. We just adapt. You know what I mean? That's what we do.
Of course. All right, here we go. So let me try to get back to you now. Yeah, there's.
Now they did miss on the face.
The face is, it's not.
When you get closer, though, look at that detail, though.
But right, the detail is like you're talking about the jersey. I mean, the jersey stands out. The glove.
I think it's the dark beard that's getting me. Like he just used just for men.
Yes.
Right. Isn't that weird?
But like even I don't know, just the face. Like he's either smiling or he wants to also murder you.
Right.
This is just kind of very mundane.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a two-seamer. So that was a miss.
The detail.
It's a detail. I see a lot of these because they bring them over to the office.
Shoes, the white on white, like everything else is pretty legit.
Yep. And they should have put the holes behind the Mrs. T's because that's where the Renegade plays. Which because they did that, you got to go way up on that one. I mean, it would have been in the A category.
Did you know that it plays Renegade?
Yeah, we played it on air. I kept pushing the button. They got mad at me. Yeah, it's outstanding. Yeah. Hat's a little different too. It looks like a woman's leather biking hat. You know, like a motorcycle hat. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, it's exactly what it looks like.
Oh my God, it does. Now you say that.
Yeah, just need to dye that.
If it has like a little shorter of a brim almost.
Yeah. The O'Neill Cruz one is probably the best one I've seen in a while, and you could take the bat out of his hand.
Oh.
Which I thought was cool.
Oh, you know what? I have that one actually.
It's good.
It's still at my parents'.
Yeah, it's good. And I don't know how you can miss a superhuman, you know, like it's like making a normal figurine, right. You know, like it can't be hard to make Otani. You know, it's like making, you know, Captain Japan.
Right.
You know, Trout. They're already superhuman.
Well, there it is. So there is the Fort's official rankings. Oh, actually, did you want to change anything now?
The automatic winner is Bob Walk, but
obviously,
no. But if Jim eats 37 hot dogs, there's a promise I will make right now. We will make sure that Jim has those hot dog wrappers on that ground in his own bobblehead, but it's going to be the belly. We got to get the belly bobble in. No, we'll get the bobblehead of Jim if he can get down those 37 hot dogs and change this curse.
Is this a promise, Fort?
Done. So I don't know where you order bobbleheads.
Very hard training for this. We're going to train Jim.
Yep.
To make sure this happens.
Yes. All right. We'll go live and do it.
Fair enough. Well, with that said, so again, we'll have this out for everyone. You go ahead and submit your rankings as well. And the next time we're on, we'll talk and discuss, and maybe we'll pick out the best ones. Give us a little feedback. Give us a reason why you said, or of course, even in the comments. If you disagree, like whatever we said, let us know. But Fort, once again, loved having you on, talking some baseball and everything. Anything else you want to discuss?
No, but I am going to get you a special guest for this bobblehead talk. Alex Presley, one of my best friends, collects bobbleheads.
Oh, so does he?
I feel like he just needs to. Yeah, I cleaned out the office this year, a whole box full of bobbleheads for him. I didn't know this, and I walked downstairs, and he just has all these bobbleheads. I was like, didn't see this, but cool, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we got to make sure he comes on so you can
I would like ask him his brain on what he thinks a good bobblehead is.
Yeah, because he'll give you some like depth. Like he's a deep thinker. So yeah, and if you want, I'll come on and just listen in. But yeah, I think that'd be good for you. I think it'd be good. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well then, with that said, we'll see you again sometime when we're back. Bye-bye, everyone.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.